Hi. So, just like I need another thing in my life to concern me, it turns out today is Friday the 13th. And I certainly don't need another reason or experience of something that's going to bring on that feeling of uncertainty in this time of COVID and during this time of political transition. Um, this phenomenon on Friday the 13th is something that I hate to admit, but if I do a little muscle testing, if I pay attention to my feelings, I might have a bit of an implicit bias towards this day and my feelings about it. Um, I really don't have a story about anything that's happened to me on Friday the 13th or on my family that says, oh, here's the reason that I might feel that way. But I do live in a culture where that seems to be happening. Um, anyway, I'm going to want to show you a little tapping that can help with some of that. And again, to think about what we can do to maybe uh, make our lives a little easier. But first, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has responded to the survey that I was sent out in my emails and also posted earlier this week here on Facebook. If you've not responded to it, I would really appreciate it if you would send me back some information. It's a way to understand where to start with people out there in the world who are struggling with recovery from trauma, with dealing with an anxious world. So, anyway, that'll be being sent out again, but you can also go to it. Uh, and I hope that you will respond. Anyway, those who have responded, it's been interesting to see how people are coming back with what's the most important to them. I'm quite surprised because it's not what I predicted, which is why we do these things. Um, so, back to this idea of what's going on with Friday the 13th. You know, we live in a culture that grabs onto any explanation that helps us cope with bad things happening to us and bad things in our lives. And then we kind of build on that, and then soon before you know it, it becomes kind of a trigger that adds to our sense of uncertainty, our ungrounding, our sense of worry in the world. Um, Now, there's no definitive origin story here about what Friday the 13th is. As I started looking around for, well, you know, what's this about? You know, mostly you run across a whole lot of different things. One is it's just that Christ was crucified on Friday the 13th after he wasn't crucified on Friday the 13th. We don't know what that date was. But on a Friday, after having had supper with 13 present the night before. Anyway, it's as good as any reason to think that we should be concerned about this. Um, but since there's no real good top of the brain explanation of why we should react the way we do to this stuff, we do what I normally do when if the problem's in the bottom of the brain, we tap. So I'm going to ask you just to join me for a couple moments here as we do a little tapping. So, you know, maybe you're not anxious about this at all, but just tune in to where you feel in your body right now, what your sense of things are, and rate your unsettled, anxious, ungrounded sense on that 0 to 10 scale. 0 being no upset, no bother, 10 being the worst you can imagine. And then we're going to tap this strange pattern that I developed through causal diagnosis earlier today, and I found it quite helpful. So, anyway, figure out what you're feeling, especially around this Friday the 13th, scary, triggering kind of thought. And then we're going to tap. So, we tap the side of the hand, we tap under the nose. And now tap the gamut spot 30 times. Now, after that, tap the beginning of the eyebrow. Tap on the middle finger. No, it's not a usual algorithm tapping point. Tap on the chin. Tap on the thumb. Tap on the tiny finger. Under eye. Under collarbone. Now tap the gamut spot as we do the 9 gamut series. Close your eyes for a moment. Open your eyes. Look down left. Look down right. Whirl your eyes one direction all around. Whirl your eyes the other direction all around. Now hum. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then hum again. And then we're going to repeat the sequence we did before, which is the side of the hand, under nose, gamut 30, not quite. You don't have to be perfect for this. And then beginning of the eyebrow, middle finger, chin, thumb, tiny finger, under the eye, under the collarbone. All right, I'll just stop for a moment and think about it being Friday the 13th and think about all the stuff that's going on around you, and just notice again, wherever you felt that in your body, that unsettled or anxious feeling, go back and notice it again and rate it again. Now, if it's gone down, that's great. If it's gone away, even better. If it's gone down but they're still there, you can just repeat what we did and maybe bring it down a bit further for yourself. Now, if it didn't change at all, you can try tapping again, see what happens. It's always worth another shot. If that doesn't help, then do collarbone breathing, and then go back and try it again. And my guess is you will notice a difference in terms of what you're experiencing in your body. And maybe we can move out of that bottom of the brain stuff that's implicit from our childhood or from the culture, and be able to not be triggered by one more thing called Friday the 13th. So anyway, I'm interested. This is an experiment for me. I've never done anything quite like this before, but I felt like it was good for me today, so I wanted to pass it along to you. Please send me back a message, a comment. If you like this, be sure to pass it on, share it with people, and we'll get through the day, and we'll get through this period of COVID-19 and political transition together. And I'm looking forward to a good new year coming up. I'll talk to you again later. Feel free to give me a call or send me a comment. Go to my email. My email is rlbray@rlbray.com. Alrighty, bye-bye.